best could be. I haven't seen my Super Nintendo since 2003. That's alright, I don't mind. I've got a Switch in the old switcheroo. My friend Mike and Jaymo too.
Oh, wahoo!
As a great man once said, or a woman in that case, wahoo. Which means welcome back to the old switcheroo, where we're talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jaymo. We're the often imitated, never emulated gaming podcast that researches, reviews, and playfully ribs every game in the Nintendo Classics catalog. But in this special Screentime episode, we're slinging shells over the 2026 animated feature, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. If you like what you hear, don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us your thoughts in the comments below. Joining us once again is the man who scored 3 kills with a single Star Wars Hunter headshot, allegedly. Cosplay King Bryan.S.Lee. How's your universe been, Bryan?
It's been pretty good. Thank you for the nice reminder. I forgot about. I mean, and also that you believe me because I didn't know at the time how to save video on the Nintendo Switch, and then
You
I
were
found
good
out
at
after the
Hunters.
fact. What's it?
You were good at Hunters. Like I believe
Oh,
that in that headshot.
oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, in that short window that it still existed as a game. Unfortunately, you can't play it anymore because they've shut the servers down. But yeah, I mean. Yeah, I'm very proud of that moment that I can't prove to anybody, but at least I have your trust that it happened.
Just sketch it.
Yeah.
Sketch it.
Oh, yeah.
And last seen narrowly beating me in the Animal Crossing Love Islands Battle Royale, Yoshi's #1 fan, our friend Lisa. Do you see any blue sparks driving home tonight, Lisa?
Just mine.
Okay.
Wait,
Well,
so you
Mike-
see yourself driving in the third person, like Mario Kart style?
No, I
Only
saw
if you
the
hit
blue.
the change view button.
There's that.
Exactly.
I just
Yeah.
meant in the rear view of my car.
It makes me wonder how hard that would be to actually do. Like have
my
a
car.
drone following your car and then like you're driving, but from the drone's view, you know?
There's a YouTube video of it. What they didn't do it with a drone, they did it with essentially an elaborate crane that was like angled just right.
Nice.
But apparently it's incredibly difficult.
I'm just saying, if we've had all that training doing third person, Mario Karting, like the theories should hold. I mean, I guess it's not joystick and but I mean, come on.
You know what else
I'm gonna
had trouble? What else had trouble staying on the road? The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Are we ready to jump in? Are we ready to jump into the Warp Star, everybody?
Sure.
That's what we're here
All
for.
right. So let's talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie released in theaters worldwide in April 2026. As described on imdb.com, Mario ventures into space, exploring cosmic worlds and tackling galactic challenges far from the familiar Mushroom Kingdom. Let's take a look at the film's poster, since that is sometimes a person's first impression. We have a vibrantly colorful image of Mario flying towards the viewer while an array of allies and enemies loom behind him. In the foreground are several locations from the movie, such as the Mushroom Kingdom and the casino-like Gateway Galaxy, while in the background various planets and structures float in the distance. Mike, we like this trailer? Poster?
Not really. It doesn't have anything that sort of stands out
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. It's kind of like the movie to me. It's like a lot of stuff packed in, but nothing particularly memorable.
Yeah, theoretically focused on Mario, but I don't care.
Yeah, because it's Mario.
Yeah.
I would argue this is actually Peach's movie, but
Yeah, more than his anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, especially considering the way it ties to her relationship with her sister. I mean, I'm a little with Jeremy, and obviously we'll get into it about the frenetic kind of jumbled busyness of the movie, which I feel like on some level is represented by this poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a common term for posters like this, the floating heads poster, that it's not meant to be, that the focus is less the artistic value and more just like make sure everybody sees who's in this. But I mean, I feel like floating heads poster designs can be done very tastefully. Look at any of Drew Struzan's paintings, and like this just feels like everyone coming at you, and it's just sort of right in the center, and like I don't know, it's fine. It's an advertisement, but it's not one to put up on your wall.
I do wonder if it looked cooler in 3D, and I really felt that watching this movie too. Like I kind of like I don't know if you were like, this should have been a 4DX thing. I don't know. I got that
I
vibe.
had bits where I'm
No,
like, would this be more fun in 4DX?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. There's
never
a
Well,
lot
crossed my
coming at you.
mind.
produced by Illumination and distributed by Universal Studios with a budget of $110 million, which it made back in a day. Like this movie is doing quite well as of recording.
Really?
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's apparently the highest grossing animated film of the year already from its first weekend. So, I mean, granted, the year hasn't been that far, but I mean, we're
Does
already in April. Like, come
does it just
on.
have a crazy number of screens? Because like that was not for a Friday night showing. There was not that many people in there.
It's a kids movie though,
yeah,
on top
It's
of it. So
anecdotal. It could
like
have just been that theater.
Saturdays afternoon is probably packed. Sunday afternoon.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at least from its Wikipedia page, it mentions. I mean, because it's what? It's only been out
Like
a
4 days,
week.
I think.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
less than a week. It
Hmm.
says, but it became a commercial success, grossing $372 million worldwide against a $110 million budget, becoming the third highest grossing film of 2026 and already the highest grossing animated film of the year.
Yep.
Yeah,
People are waiting.
it's
It's
crazy.
slick.
Or as Lisa would say, wahoo!
Oh, wahoo!
You do it better than me. You do it so much better than me. All right. Well, let's see how good you are at this, Lisa. We're gonna do a quick mini game minute. We're calling Smartio Galaxy the movie. That looked better on paper than it sounded. Smartio, Mario get anyway. Pretty simple concept. I'm gonna hit you with some trivia from IMDb.com. Shout it out as soon as I'm done reading the question. We got 6 total here and a tiebreaker. So, Super Mario Galaxy is actually the second animated movie that Illumination has released on April Fool's Day, following what Easter Bunny adventure from 2011?
Hop?
1 point for Mike. Hop.
Good job.
Yeah, I forgot that movie existed.
Same.
Oh, me too. Well, even I was just a little thrown off by the question. You said it was following that. What do you mean?
That was the last time they released a animated movie on April Fools.
Oh, on the okay. I mean, all
Yeah.
right.
Do better on this one, Brian. Which major character in the Super Mario Galaxy movie is being voiced by a male voice actor for the first time?
Oh, Yoshi?
Nope. Mike, Lisa, any guesses?
No idea.
Really
I
voice
think
actor for the first time.
I
Mike.
think this was Bowser Jr.
Another point for Mike. Yes.
Ah, all
Benny
right.
Safdie is the first male voice actor to play Bowser Jr., having always been represented by female voice actors in the games.
I get you. I mean, that makes
Cool.
sense because I know they'll often use women to do like kid voices, and Bowser Jr. is a kid, so it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. All right,
But,
Brian,
yeah,
ready?
sure.
Brian, this one's yours, baby. Okay.
I'll
Get ready
try.
for it. Get ready for it. Okay.
I'm working my way.
Speaking of sound, Super Mario Galaxy reuses an iconic sound effect from what multi-billion-dollar Universal franchise?
Oh, I mean, the Jurassic Park.
Boom, the
Yeah, it's gotta
T-Rex
be.
roar.
Oh,
It
that,
took me
that
a
is
second. I was like,
Right.
the actual one.
Yes, so it turns out they just pitched it down a little to give it a bit more of a rumble, but it is the same sound effect.
yeah.
Ah,
At the same time, I didn't figure it was the same, but it sounded so similar. I'm not surprised to hear that they more or less use the same like core audio for it because I mean, if anything, it was such an iconic movie, Jurassic Park, and this the very signature sound they give the T Rex. I feel like every time we've seen a T Rex in anything, it's been kind of riffing off of that sound, that like that bellowy kind of like I forget what animals they use to sort of that mix together to make it, but yeah, I mean, it's it crossed my mind seeing the movie too. Like, oh man, that's a Jurassic Park T Rex roar.
I think
I don't know
I
if it
think they
was.
had it in the trailer, and that was my initial thought. I was like, is that just the Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
No. I mean,
That movie,
it's just sort of forever become, I think, on some level, what people expect now a T Rex to sound like. It's sort of like how the whoever first decided the red-tailed hawk makes a much better caw sound than the bald eagle. Which, if you've ever listened to an actual bald eagle, they just sound like kind of chirpy.
Or
They're
kind of
not
like
that
how kookaburras are like thought of as like jungle things all over the place because they sound good.
right.
Actually, frogs too. They use it's Southern California frogs are like in everything, and it's like that's not what frogs sound elsewhere.
Or like the what is it, the Canadian loon that Yeah, I just know there's tropes like that in sound effects where they kind of just pick the bird or the frog or whatever that just sounds the best, and then everybody uses that same sound effect.
All right,
Like
Frog. I'm
after
gonna.
Jurassic Park, all mathematicians in movies are sexy.
Yeah,
There
there
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they got to be in real life too, right?
All right. Speaking of actors, there's my segue back into the game here. You can each get a point for this one because there's three possible answers. Name a voice actor who lobbied the studio to get into this movie.
Oh, Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell was one, playing Fox McCloud. Lisa gets a point. Brian,
I'm
Mike, you got any?
I'm gonna wager maybe Brie Larson. I think she was a Nintendo fan.
She was indeed.
Ah, sweet.
Mike, last one.
Uh, Donald Glover?
Yeah, yes, guys. 1 point
Oh,
for
nice. All
everybody.
three.
That was called Who Else Is New in This Movie I Can Think of.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
did
because
it.
obviously it's not the returning cast. So it's like all the
Yeah.
That would be sad.
Can
Well,
I
Seth
please
Seth
Chris
Rogen.
Pratt.
my character?
Rogen didn't have a line. We
He
saw
did it.
Donkey Kong for half a second, so they did him dirty. All right, guys, doing great here. When Peach and Toad meet Fox McCloud, there's an obvious cameo of Captain Olimar's ship as it unloads a crew full of Peakmen. But taking off in the background is a blink and you'll miss it sighting of a gunship flown by what other Nintendo spacefarer?
Samus?
Samus. Lisa pulls ahead. Samus
Lisa
Aran's
didn't
ship.
see it.
Well, it was there.
Good guess. It's a good guess.
There's two shots where Samus and her gun. Well, you don't see Samus, but you see the gunship flying around.
I mean, you
That's
never
pretty
really
cool.
see Samus.
Right. Well, no. I mean, not in the games you've played.
Yeah.
So they're very much sowing the seeds of like obviously like Fox McCloud is a major character in this, but like they're sowing the seeds of Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Weird segue to Samus in the bikini, though. But Mike, you do see Samus, so you're doubly wrong. Um, anyway, this movie features the big screen debut of three iconic bosses from Super Mario 2. Wart the Frog, played by Luis Guzman, in the Vegas-like Gateway Galaxy chilling out with Birdo, the gender-ambiguous egg spitter, and a bomb-tossing rodent named what?
Steve?
What was the name of the bomb-tossing mouse in Super Mario 2? It's the third.
Oh,
I don't know.
The bomb-tossing mouse.
I remember its name.
Not Pikachu.
It's the mouse.
I
Can you think of it?
The Mauser?
the Mauser?
You know, you don't get the point. It was Mouser. Okay. All right, here. Last one to potentially tie the game here. The final cutscene of Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii and the first teaser trailer for this film both started with the sight of what insect landing on Mario's cap?
Beetle?
Butterfly?
Mike win. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I might have marked the thing wrong. Yes, yellow butterfly, which I don't know why, but I like it. It's pretty. So then I might have been keeping the score wrong, full disclosure, but we have a tiebreaker question. Okay, Price is Right rules. Brian, you can't win, but you got a lot of heart, kid. Between Brian and Lisa, Mike and Lisa, how many minutes long is the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Price is Right rules, closest without going over.
186.
Mike?
37.
You mean 137?
No, he's going Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair.
Well, Lisa went over. So Mike
Yeah.
wins.
So Mike wins.
I would say.
I thought he was gonna 1 minute bob you, honestly.
That's fine.
Wait, Lisa, you said
Uh,
186?
Yeah.
That's
That's like
3 hours.
That's a over 3 hour movie.
186 minutes?
Yeah.
60 minutes per hour. That's an over 3 hour movie. That's like I don't know how long you thought of this.
I don't know. I got home at late.
Mike wins. Mike wins. All right. So that was fun. Before we get started on the plot review, I want your first takes on the first Super Mario movie and overall how this one compared to the previous film. Lisa, can we start with you?
Sure. I did not like the previous film. I was like, this just isn't for me. So I wasn't too excited going into this film. But afterwards, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I thought it did so much better than what the first movie did. And I don't know if that's just because they had got all the things they needed to out of the way. And now they could just actually do like a movie, like you know who Mario is, you know who everyone is, so let's go forward. Um, I really enjoyed it. It hit all the nostalgia points for me.
Hmm. Okay.
Had
Okay.
you played Super Mario Galaxy?
Yes, and I do not remember it.
Okay.
There's not a ton to do. There's some neat cameos towards the end of the movie. And there's the Galaxy Cube that has the kind of gravity defying rules that game is known for. They kind of represented that in Peach's battle in the casino planet, where she gets to run on the walls and the ceiling. That felt the most like a Mario Galaxy level to me. So Mike, have you played Mario Galaxy, and what did you think of the film?
I have not, and I think I had sort of let off my take on the first of these movies with the most important part of this movie is presumably Mario, and Mario is also the weakest part of this.
Yeah.
And I felt that held for the first, and I felt it held for the second.
Yeah.
And that this felt more haphazard plot wise to me. And so there's interesting characters and some interesting bits, but I felt like I spent a lot of the movie just like, okay, I know where we're going with this. And I'm just waiting for the movie to catch up with itself and hope that something entertaining happens along the way. It's like my favorite bits are all not the main narrative, really.
Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
think my issue with it is that I didn't know where it was going because every time I thought it was going to do something really interesting with the characters, it swerved into the most straightforward, like, story you could imagine. Like, I feel like time and time again, it was just like one missed opportunity after the other. And like, it felt weird because like I'm really easy to please. I'm a real cheap date. I like far dumber movies than this.
I
You
would
know,
That's true.
actually say, and this gets deeper into plot, but I think it's clear we're going to be doing that.
right. We haven't
The
gotten to full
once,
spoilers yet, though.
huh?
We haven't.
Yeah,
We're not doing full spoilers yet, right?
yeah. Although I think this is in the category of it should have been a spoiler,
Okay.
or it's related to something that should have been, which is I do not like that I knew that Star Fox was in this
1,000,000%.
going into it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The
Yeah, that was a
ones
weird thing.
like just let that because it's in the film. It's set up to be a surprise, except they told you.
It did feel like like an intentionally cash grabby thing to spoil that ahead of time to
Yeah,
get butts and seats, and it's clear that they didn't have to.
yeah. And I
But
think the interesting part with that, the one time where the movie sort of surprised me was it set that up to play off the trope of expecting Mario to see Peach with Star Fox and have some sort of jealousy or insecurity.
Yeah.
And it pauses for them to then immediately just get along well. And
Yeah.
it's the one time where it did something unexpected, and it's mostly because it set it up to do the most predictable thing for a movie and then not do it.
Yeah, but that would have been more interesting. Like, it's like when they meet Yoshi, like Yoshi, the cutest freaking thing on the planet. I feel like they nailed the Yoshi look and the sound, and I
Yep.
love him, and he's a baby, and we must save him at all costs and all that stuff. But like, there's a beat when they find him, and it's like, oh, Yoshi's scared. And you're like, what's happened to Yoshi? And oh, they're gonna have to build his trust, and he's getting. And then when Yoshi finally trusts them or saves them, it's gonna hit. And it's like, no, he loves them immediately, and they love him immediately. And even Toad's like, so he's just part of the team now, okay? And it's like, it's a funny joke for the trailer, but like, this whole movie had that vibe of like,
right.
oh, friends join the party. Oh, bad guys, stay bad. Don't be complex. Like, I
Right.
just,
Well, I feel like yeah, that's true, but I feel like Bowser did get more complex in that because he had the choice. Yeah, and I guess this is getting into spoilers.
yeah, I
But
think we should
he,
just go into spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you're still listening,
Oh,
spoiler time.
yeah. So he has the choice to go back to being evil, and he chooses not to. He chooses to stick with Mario.
What? No, he
yeah.
doesn't.
Not.
Well, he
He does
does
for
because
a
he
while,
doesn't
but
let
not
his
by the
kid
end.
kill him.
Right, but then he tries to kill him later.
Yeah, he does flip flop on that
Yeah,
quite a few times.
they walk that back.
Yeah.
They
felt.
they do, and I feel like because he becomes dry bones, like he's a little different. They also tried to kill him,
I mean,
so
they
he
arguably
should be
did
a
kill
little
him.
pissed. He
Well,
should be a little pissed here.
sure. I mean, if I may, so my general take on the movie, like I on the flip side, I actually was pleasantly surprised by the first one. I wasn't expecting a lot, but I found more of it enjoyable than not. But I still had the similar issues, kind of that Mike mentioned before as well, where your titular character seems to be the weakest point. But it's still I felt like the first movie still carried very much over with the portrayal of the other characters, whereas in this one it felt like, well, I remember going into it kind of feeling like, because I did not play the Super Mario Galaxy games, that a lot of it would go over my head. I remember very early on just seeing the title of the movie, going like, oh, I wish this movie had been called Super Mario World, so they could just sort of step kind of roughly system to system to system. But then I kind of got the reality check of how old Super Mario Galaxy already is as a game. But
Yeah.
and plus, I already knew from the first movie that it in a way that I found very pleasantly surprising about the first movie, it ended up being an homage to the whole franchise. Like I nerded out very much over in the first movie, as I did a lot in this one as well, over all the references to Koji Kondo's like classic themes at key moments in ways that didn't feel like, because fan service has a way of really putting off people who don't get the fan service sometimes. Like I've heard it criticized about the newer Mortal Kombat movie of like, if you don't know Kung Lao and they're just like, oh, this is a hat guy's scene, like they're lingering on him in a way. It's like, hey, it's Kung Lao. Whereas in this movie, or in either of these movies, I feel like they blend in a lot of those references very organically. Like I loved, like, at the first appearance of the gunships in this movie, you hear that dun dun.
Yeah.
Just that little cue that you remember from Mario 3 when you would have to go up into the gunships. I mean, things like that. Those were still there in this, but I lament to say that there really wasn't much else to pull me into this. Like that's a lot of what sticks out in my mind of what I enjoyed about this. It felt like there was a lot of subplots that felt underdeveloped. That there was something interesting going on at times with like Bowser and his son and the father-son dynamic there that would sort of get abandoned. Similarly, to some degree, with Rosalina and Peach's sisterhood and their history. Although, if anything, I feel like that was maybe like the core of this movie that they should have maybe leaned into a little bit more, because that's, I guess, I feel like the most of the backbone of what drives the story is that lost connection between Rosalina and Peach, but like to the detriment, I feel like, of Mario and Luigi's story and the stuff with Yoshi. Like yeah, I'm kind of there with you, Jeremy, where it's like suddenly everyone trusts Yoshi now. And if anything, that line about like, oh, we're just cool with this dinosaur joining us now, like I thought that would be set up for something that never quite realized either.
Yeah, there's a whole through line that this movie could have been about, like, kind of trusting again, right?
Yeah,
Because like they set up this thing with Bowser and he has this kid and he was like this deadbeat dad and I'm like, "Oh, that's going to be interesting."
right.
Like no, Bowser Jr. is obsessed with him. He does not care that Bowser low-key abandoned him as a child. He just immediately loves his dad and Bowser loves having a kid.
I
Like
mean,
there's just no tension.
Yeah,
I
how he
mean that
quickly double crosses them too once a kid gets back into the picture too. But sorry, Mike, what were you saying?
I would say I think that is a route to go. Is that it could also gone, which is not the you left and I'm angry, but the I have been trying to do things that would earn your approval ever since you're gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Well,
I think it does
that's what he
go
was
much,
doing.
yeah, like yeah, it does go down
Yeah.
that path. So I think you're going like, well, he's not angry, there's not tension. It's like, no, this is a different
It's a different
issue.
path he could go down,
Yeah.
and basically he decided, well, clearly my dad left, so I need to do everything he did, or he told us to do, and then I'll
Right.
win his love again. And that essentially boils down to that.
And it
Besides,
works.
Mario and Luigi killing Bowser.
Yeah, so I
Sure.
mean, if someone hasn't seen it, one of the twists is that little Bowser genuinely wants to do better. and he like befriends Luigi and Mario and actually kind of sacrifices himself when they crash land on the B planet. He's like, I'll be enslaved in your place so you can go rescue the princess. And Bowser and Mario have this moment of like, hey, you're not so bad. And then Bowser is literally before the camera cuts away rescued by his son. So that sacrifice he just did was a 5 minute sacrifice.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
feel
even
like,
buy it as a sacrifice when it happened.
I
But
I really didn't buy it either. I figured he knew his son was coming to pick him up or something, and this was more like let Mario and Luigi get their story going, and we don't have to delve into this spot.
but see, I would have liked it to lean a little bit more into that because I'm kind of with Jeremy in that at least the way I read that scene with like with the surprise that Mario has at Bowser's behavior and the Bowser, yeah, like it's like I just felt like they couldn't decide what they wanted to do with Bowser in the
yeah,
story, and it could have if it had been a little bit more consistent in a way where you could see like an arc of him like having to choose between you know
Yeah, I think
between trying to be the good guy and then also connect with his son who's trying to impress him, like the whole reason why yeah, I would have liked to see some sort of something a little bit clearer in terms of Bowser's intentions, like it felt like Bowser was just the least. I don't know.
I
I think
Yeah,
if it had felt to me like he had changed, but Mario wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt, that'd be one thing. But I didn't feel like he had changed. Like they kept relying on him snapping as comedy too much to feel for it to feel like, oh no, he has changed. Mario can't move on to Mario's probably got a point. Like he's a jerk about it, but he's not wrong.
well, maybe that'll
yeah.
play differently on other watch, but I definitely felt like it was like they were trying to say that he had changed, especially considering like right when he goads Mario into, you know, embiggening him again. Yeah, I don't know. I see what you mean. I would have liked it to be a little bit clearer that he was like r- getting ready to double cross. Ultimately, he does double cross them, but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel like it felt like it felt to me like they weren't really sure what they wanted to do with his character, to be honest. But maybe that was sort of the subtext of it.
I wouldn't say they didn't necessarily know what to do with his character. I think they're trying to walk a fine path. Because yes, Bowser's a villain, but people also really like Bowser. So it's trying to find that place of, you can't really kill the bad guy because he's kind of a good guy at times, to make it more complicated. So and I also go, this is a kids movie too, so I don't know how deep they want to dive into some of this stuff that then maybe, you know, I don't know that this might be some Japanese culture or not, where they're like, we don't know, we're not saying, be this way or be that way, that we'll just kind of keep it ambiguous and let us, and let you choose what it is.
I think I'm just missing the story beat, and it could have been like a 5 second shot of the moment when Bowser genuinely is like trying to kill Mario again, and it's like they're not allies anymore. And they're like literally, the recreation of the Bowser bridge fight from the NES, which I thought was
Oh, that
pretty
was
clever.
so cool.
That
When
was
that hit, I was like,
yeah.
no freaking way. That
And
was so cool.
they were smart about not cutting to the little 8-bit like I thought the movie did that one too many times where it's like, look, it's like looks like the old game, and I'm like, yeah, this is the third time you've done that. Um
I don't know, that didn't bother me, but I thought it was really cool when they introduced Fox McCloud, where all of a sudden it was a different type of animation. It
yeah,
was
very
all anime.
Spider-Verse. It was very
Yeah, it was,
Spider-Versey.
which I know a lot of films are doing now, which is awesome, but also now it feels cliche. But I think it would be cool if we do get a Fox McCloud movie or Star Fox that is anime
Oh, that'd be neat.
in that
Oh,
same
cool.
style. And then that way, like Mario has its visual style,
Yeah.
Star
Mm,
Fox has its visual
you're
style.
cooking.
The
You're
Legend
cooking.
of the Zelda has its visual style because that's going to be live action.
Right.
So
I,
that
I
would
wanted
just
to
be really neat.
I wanted to finish my point about Bowser
Yeah,
though, is that
go
like
ahead.
so when he goes back to Big Bad and it's their big final boss fight, I just needed one moment where like he realizes that if he does go good, he's gonna have to leave his son again. So he's gonna be bad to stay with him,
Yeah,
you know, or something, or like Mike said, like Mario pushes him to it and he's like, you know what, screw it. I did, like, there had to be some kind of relatability, but like Lisa said, this is a kids movie, so like what's the message to kids that you can't really change, and if you're bad you're always gonna be bad deep down? It just didn't hit right.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of thought that went into the substance of the story, to be honest. It seems a
Right.
lot of like a frenetic pieces that on their own are, are done well, but like collectively, I mean,
Connecting them is
yeah, I mean
it
this
falls apart.
the
Yeah.
style is there. Like you talk about the animation style and obviously all the touchstones to like to the things that we're familiar with without being feeling like left out of left field's fan servicey, because I clearly knew that there were like stuff tied to the Galaxy games that were kind of going over my head, but like I certainly got a thrill. I remember mentioning to you, Lisa, when we see the I forget the name of the upside down pyramid from Odyssey, and like
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
but it worked in that universe because it's not like, hey, look at this thing. That's just where Mario and Luigi are on a mission, and like so, yeah, but at the same time, style doesn't make up for substance. So
Sure.
yeah, I just felt like I wanted more out of the story points that they were like what Mike mentioned before about Fox McCloud, and like if anything, I wanted to see more with him, not just screen time, but like character dynamics, like how it's affecting other people, other than just that brief moment of Mario kind of going like, I don't know, I don't like this guy, that Peach is attracted to this guy or something, or suspects that he is.
I
I,
feel
I,
So
like if
I
it,
I am impressed to what extent he functions as the movie's Han Solo,
yeah.
to the
yeah,
point
Yes. Yes.
of Heart of
Very much.
Gold with a price, who takes them to a destroyed planet location, and just like
yeah,
you really hit all the points here.
and
Yeah,
brings the cool vehicle.
Loved it.
Yeah.
it's
So
funny though,
good.
the Han Solo comparison just points out how much better of a movie Star Wars is, because Han Solo, you don't know if you can trust him, and he might abandon him, and he kind of struggles with that. But Foxy's just the solid bro. He does it for the money, but that never comes up with the allies. Like, shouldn't
Yeah,
it have? Same thing with like Yoshi. Yoshi's just like, if you add a character and they're just useful, I feel like they're a tool in the story.
yeah,
If there's no,
Yeah.
even with very little, like much like Han Solo. I mean, I don't want to say Han Solo is a is a small part of Star Wars, but like, but yeah, like to give that arc, especially. I mean, there's such a payoff in so many ways, the ending of Star Wars, because amongst everything, Han comes back to save the
right.
day. Yeah, something like that with Fox McCloud that makes him a little bit more of just little more than what I feel like is a little bit of the one trick pony kind of in this. He's cool and it was great to see him, but yeah, I just something more than that would have been nice.
Yeah. On that same borrow from Star Wars thing, I was not expecting to have a middle surprise we're at the casino planet bit.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. But
it's very
they
last dinner.
have casinos in the games and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
don't
True.
remember. Yeah, no, I remember seeing them in like Mario Kart World, or not World, the phone version of the game. So it's
Tour.
like, sure, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, that was a really fun sequence, but like, okay, so to complete the Star Wars trilogy of comparisons, the climax of this movie is that Bowser Jr. is going to use Rosalina as like a battery for his Death Star.
Yeah.
And like in Star Wars, they show you what the Death Star does, so it's scary.
Right.
We don't really know what his giant sky beam. It's going to destroy the universe, but like, what is? And I guess he said he's going to aim it at the Mushroom Kingdom. But
They destroyed a thing with it or before that, didn't they?
oh, that's when they were running.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. There's a whole bit that they're going to go like place to place and destroy them.
okay, maybe
They
I
also
don't.
they also fight in the end over lava. I mean,
Yeah,
it keeps
Star Wars.
Hmm.
it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Okay, I don't know, but I thought it was a weird choice because Rosalina is a fan favorite, and you have Brie Larson playing her, and she's so prominent in the advertisements, and like she gets captured in the first scene and stays in a cell until the last scene.
She's
Yeah.
a
And it's
princess.
just
That's what they do.
right. I get it.
Yes,
And then like
especially in
it's
this franchise. Yeah,
and
but I
Peach
mean,
saving her sister. But then
well, in that
No,
same
I
vein,
know.
that's sort of why like because Peach's story among and reconnecting and learning about her sister is kind of more told well from Peach's perspective. So I'm kind of with Lisa in that, like, I feel like if there the main character of this movie kind of should have been Peach rather than Mario, and ultimately the argument could be made that it is her. But
Yeah.
I think it would be
Yeah.
stronger if it shifted that way.
yeah.
They've just never figured out an interesting approach to Mario. And I thought, and again, this movie, in my notes, I said this movie has a bunch of nah moments where it's like it sets up an interesting idea and then nah. And so, like, one of the subplots is that Mario has feelings for Peach and he, like, clearly likes her, and Luigi and Yoshi are teasing him for it. And he's trying to build up the courage to say something. And the end of the movie, he never says anything. Oh, but Peach kisses his cheek. It's fine. She made the first move. And it's just like, ah,
If anything, I would have liked it to, because I believe it's Shigeru Miyamoto who says like he never saw like Peach as his love interest. That he's just saving her, like they're just friends or something. I don't know. I just remember some authority within Mario has sort of just defined that Mario and Peach are just friends in that way. So if anything, I was watching this movie and seeing that okay, now they're doing a subplot in this of like Mario having feelings for her and like does she have feelings back? Is she going for Fox McCloud instead? I thought maybe it'd be nice for them to have an ending that maybe was a little unexpected for like because you would think a typical kids movie like this, oh, he's gonna find out oh they're gonna be together at the end, but like I know Jeremy, you and I particularly appreciate like certain Pixar movies, for example, who will do you know certain subplots that you might not expect, much like Monsters University, where it's like, where kind of the message behind it is like, no, just because something's your dream doesn't mean, you're destined for it or that it's yours to take, like I would have liked something like that where like maybe Mario comes to terms with like but no, they leave it very they don't really resolve that and they just more or less I guess are kicking the can down the road for him telling her how he feels or I don't know. Like you said, it just sort of ends and he just gives him a kiss on the cheek and like next movie, I guess is still will they won't they?
still counts. You gotta
I
kiss.
guess. I mean, will they won't they works. I mean, so they did it for years on the X-Files and so many other shows like it, but I mean like I just feel like it would have been nice for them to sort of address that in a way that is atypical maybe and also just like, you know, yeah, that doesn't mean they had to be together. They're friends.
Do you know the ending of Mario Odyssey?
It's been a long time since I played it.
You've
Mario
I
heard the
never
comes
spoiler.
back
finished
and
it.
has to kill all the people trying to court Peach while disguised as some other dude.
Wrong Odyssey.
Well, I
The
know people often criticize the ending of Mario 64, where like, oh, at the end of all this, like Peach just makes him a cake, big whoop. But then that leads
hey,
to other discussion of just like, hey, she doesn't owe him anything. Like, you think that she should become his girlfriend just because, like,
Actually,
just because
I'm
it's
going to disagree. I do think she owes him cake. I think that's actually an appropriate thing.
oh yeah, exactly, yeah. Like
Like it,
as
He
opposed
saved
to
my life. Here's a cake.
as
Yeah,
opposed to all
I
the
fine.
think that's
people who
fair.
think like, oh, she owed him like to become his girlfriend or something. Like, no, it's just freaking it's your cake. Who doesn't like cake?
right. And as a cake American, I'm like pretty great, pretty good, pretty fair. Um, I think, Brian, you mentioned like I wish Star Fox had been a surprise. I'm so glad I didn't know about Mr. Game and Watch showing up in their big ink battle. Like I popped off because I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
expect it. And
Yeah.
so Bowser Jr., after this movie, Jackie really didn't like this movie. She hated this movie so much it was like causing a fight on the way home, as Lisa and Brian know. Um,
But that's kind of funny because it sounds like you didn't love it either. But
no,
clearly you appreciate things about it too. So
I was really trying and I was
yeah.
confused for a lot of this movie and I kept going like, wait,
Yeah.
why are they on this planet? How did they know to come to this planet? What?
I,
Magic.
no, I'm there with you. And suddenly there's a Bowser planet and like yeah, it just seemed a little like this shouldn't be hard to follow, but it's
Right.
kind of hard to follow.
So Jackie was trying to ask me what was going on and I was trying to listen to figure out what was going on, which didn't work out in anybody's favor. Um, But what was my point though? Oh yeah. So one of the questions she said, on the way home, she was like, "Why did Bowser Jr. have like a Marvel bad guy ink powers? Like, what was that?" And like, I don't know. It's such a visually cool fighting style, kind of Green Lantern-esque of creating these weapons
Mm,
out of the paint on his paintbrush.
yeah.
And that culminates in him summoning one of the coolest bosses from Mario Odyssey, the Ruined Dragon,
Mm.
which is this big black and white dragon. And it's cool in the game because it's like the game is so colorful, but you enter this stark, almost like Dark Souls-esque area, and you're like,
Wait,
what is
Right. Yeah.
this?
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were going to say you enter the dragon.
Yeah, there you go. But I don't know. I think something that just made me less interested in the movie was every conflict was solved with physical skill. It was always punch harder, jump faster. Um, and
Mm.
I just
You name me one
felt
conflict that can't be solved just with more and more force.
romantic ones, Mike, which should have been more part of the story. That was a perfect answer. Oh my God, I'm gonna leave the Zoom. Oh my God.
Just
But
drop the mic and
but I don't know though. Like I do like it a little more hearing you guys talk about it and like the music cues and like it was just so pretty at points. Um,
Mhm.
I mean,
there
it
were
has its value. I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely a visually stunning movie, and at least not that it makes it a good movie per se, but but the fan service I feel like was handled very very well, in a way that's not going to throw off people who aren't enjoying the fan service. Like you can enjoy. I mean, yeah, even the stuff that like because I know it wasn't one that was available in North America, but did they use like the what was it called, like the Super Scope?
yes,
Yeah, the
yes.
SNES like little gun thing. That's how they turned them into babies.
Which I'm gonna count as this
Ah,
movie's nod to the 1990s Bob Hoskins Mario because Bowser also uses a super scope in that movie.
That's
It's the
right.
it's like the devolution ray. So I think that was their little nod because it turns them back into babies. Couple of scenes that really worked for me was the comedy of Yoshi trying to rescue baby Mario and baby Luigi from climbing in the T-Rex's mouth. And there's a scene where baby Luigi licks the T-Rex's open eyeball, and you're just like,
Yes. Oh my
oh
God.
my
oh,
God.
so gross.
I forgot about that moment. Yes, I was hurting laughing at that because just
But
just
hands
him
Yeah.
down,
licking its eyeball.
hands down, Jackie and I agree that if there's something that makes this movie worth the ticket price, it's Yoshi's strut to Hypnotize by Notorious B.I.G., where it's
Oh,
just this cute little
Yeah,
angle of
yeah.
his butt walking through, and it's like the same stride the whole time. And he gets like a construction hat and bumper stickers, and he goes on this whole journey. And then it cuts back to Yoshi, who's just been saying Yoshi, Yoshi, Yoshi over and over again.
Right.
And Mario's like, I guess we'll never know how he got here. And it's so funny. I was
That was great. That was the best part of
dying.
it.
that
I
was
and I
good.
really wouldn't have expected like a Biggie needle drop
It
in
was
that
so
movie.
good though. It was
Yeah,
And I
somehow perfect.
think
yeah.
that was like the three things that I thought this did best were basically the Star Fox backstory in a different style,
Yep.
that
Mm.
Yoshi backstory, which I think
Nobody
is
understood.
the best looking part of the movie,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then also the puppet show with Bowser and Bowser Jr., which is
Yeah.
Hmm.
again it's exposition sort of outside of the main narrative. And like, every time you left the story and did a little mini thing, that was better.
So Mike thought that Yoshi's butt was the best looking part of the movie.
It
Okay.
was.
Just to make sure we all clarify.
Honestly, the
Yeah.
design of him
Oh,
too, like that
wahoo.
that slow reveal of his face in the shadows, like, and how you just see that nose, like it's just they leaned into the cuteness of Yoshi in very well, and that backstory I just love so much that like that it's just for the audience. It's it's that dramatic irony, I guess, because ultimately nobody understood him. Like that was, if anything, something I slightly worried about going into this movie. I was grateful to see that eventually from one of the ads, maybe the first trailer, that Yoshi was going to be introduced in this one, because like I said before, like I was like, oh, Super Mario Galaxy, why isn't it Super Mario World? In a lot of ways, this is a Super Mario World movie. Yoshi is introduced. Even like they showed like briefly an overworld map that looks very SNES style map. You know, like so
Yeah.
clearly they're hearkening to Super Mario World, Galaxy, that's all around the franchise. Not even, even outside of Mario, clearly. But I remember when I heard that Yoshi was going to be in it, I was excited. Then I heard Donald Glover was voicing him, and like all the love for Donald Glover and Childish Gambino, but I'm like, are they gonna have him say things more than his name? Like, I don't want him to be talking. He's Yoshi, right? And I was very pleasantly surprised that Donald Glover plays Yoshi in a very like Alan Tudyk as Hey, the chicken, like just he's mostly just doing noises, and obviously every now and then he says his name, but like I'm glad they didn't broach beyond that. Literally he's telling his backstory, and they're like, well, I guess we'll never know.
Well, our friends from the Still Loading podcast, Mike, don't they know all about Yoshi's terrible voice in the Mario Super Show? Wasn't that a thing?
What,
Yes,
he's like talk?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh God,
I
yeah.
feel like they've
Remember
had him
now?
talk.
Hmm.
So, but
It sets a very low bar.
yeah, in terms of Mario stories, I guess there's a lot worse than this. But that also, I got to take Brian's segue about Yoshi's role, and he was added to Super Mario Galaxy 2, and it was the first time he'd been a major part of a 3D Mario game, so that was a kind of a big deal. But the final battle, so Bowser has come back as Dry Bowser,
Yes.
uh, which he's called because the skeletal Koopas are dry bones. And so if Skeletor Bowser is Dry Bowser, that means up until this point he's been Wet Bowser. So Wet Bowser,
No, Dry
That also
Bowser is
means
just
you can just
sober.
call
Like,
regular Koopas bones,
What?
correct. Thank you for being on my board, Mike.
I just figured Dry
which
Bowser is
means
he's sober now. He was a
Okay.
little, yeah. So now he's fine.
Koopas are medical officers.
What?
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 Oh, bones
Yeah.
on Star Trek? Wow. Long walk.
Oh,
Wow.
Long walk to
No,
a
that
Star
didn't
Trek
work.
reference. Nah, you know what? We're smiling. Maybe it
you
did
know,
work.
It didn't
respect,
work.
respect. It's Star Trek.
But so the
So,
final battle, I got to give them credit. Like they power up to fight Dry Bowser and Bowser Jr. at the same time,
yeah.
and Yoshi, Mario, and Luigi all power up. But you get power ups you have not seen represented in this franchise before. So Mario becomes Drill Hat Mario, Luigi becomes Cloud Luigi, and
I,
Yoshi just inflates like a helium-filled balloon,
I was about
and
to
then the
say,
battle kicks in. The battle kicks in, and it's raging, and they're throwing power-ups, and Bowser's biting. And I had this thought of, where's Yoshi? And then right on cue, he just floats into frame and kind of bunk. Like, do you remember that shot? It was so funny, and Yoshi is helpless to stop it.
wait. So I didn't know. I thought maybe those were like deep cut powers from a game I didn't play. You
Oh
said
yeah,
that's the first time we've seen the drill
in
in the
in the movie.
movie. Okay.
We'd never seen
Okay.
those in the cinematic. They've been in the
Yeah.
games.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I didn't.
But my point though is like, you can't make him get a star and that's hype. We already saw the superstar takedown in the first movie.
Yeah, that's OP.
Hmm.
So they
It is. That's
I
why
mean,
he's
it's
using it.
invincibility.
yeah. Well, and I love that sequence in the first movie. And I think my final thought on this is that just I feel like the first movie had so many moments that really stick in my heart. Like when you realize that, Brooklyn, the run through Brooklyn is a recreation of 1-1. That
Oh
was
yeah.
such a fun moment. The Mario Kart race, Peaches, right? And even that Superstar finale. And I just don't think there's really much in here that approaches that level of like cleverness. I feel like there should have been a Jack Black song about Bowser Jr. He should have sang to his son or something. I don't know. I just feel like there were things that I wanted it to do, and it just kind of kept doing the same thing over and over, which is like a animated stunt show, but without any emotion attached to what was happening. An animated action sequence is not really as good as a live action sequence because it doesn't have the same oomph. My body's not reacting like it's real as easily as if it was a live action one. So I think if you're going to make an action movie, I think this is just an action/adventure movie. And to make that work in animation, I just think you need a stronger emotional core to everything.
No, I agree. If anything, like I like that if anything, like I kind of got reminded by you that they started in Brooklyn in the first movie, and that like, and they even brilliantly used that as a set piece to show off, recreating like the classic scene from the game, and like, but at the same time, ultimately that gives the first movie more of a narrative arc for, if not Mario, then the brothers, that kind of becomes the backbone of that story.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like there's not enough of one here. Or if there is, like maybe they should have leaned more into Peach in that sense. But but it's still kind of called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and yeah, as Mike mentioned before, yeah, it's like if like Mario, the titular character seems to be the least developed and the least consequential to everything that's happening.
Yeah, you can
So
shift away from that, but you actually have to make that as a conscious choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel they tried to, but even with Peach's story, while it was the main story, it falls short. Like they're like, oh, Rosalina had to send Peach away, but we don't delve into why that was. Just, ooh, something bad was gonna happen. And
Yeah.
then they get
Because
together.
you don't even really know what the threat is, right? She just sends her
Exactly.
baby. Yeah,
She just sends her baby sister away and apparently has been watching over her the entire time
yeah.
because
And
she's
if
got the
anything, like,
stories of everybody.
and if you want to feel good about what she did there, we should know what the threat was.
What
It
was
did
it?
feel weird how that was just sort of tacked on at the end. Yeah.
Like
Well,
it,
it was
it,
tacked in
it
the beginning, and
felt
then their powers coming together, and then that was the end of the movie, and it was like, okay, but why was Peach sent away? Why was Rosalina watching her and not saying, hey, you have a sister, or you have family? Because Peach has been raised by the Toads.
it felt like it was trying to avoid the thing that apparently they can do with just one of them, which is use the power of just one of them to destroy stuff. Like if it had been that they got her and now they have to also get Peach because you have to capture both of them, then I feel like that would work. But like
Yeah.
when capturing just one is enough to be a problem, then you lose the why do you have to separate them kind of thing.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Also,
Yeah.
minor bone to pick with that storyline about how they're like, oh, we were princesses made of stardust. And like, I mean, I know Mike will appreciate as a fellow Dr. Carl Sagan fan. We're all stardust, all right? It's not so
But they're
unique to
more
them.
Stardust.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the moral all along.
I'm more annoyed that when they decide to like fix the Bowser planet and it's covered in vegetation,
Oh yeah, that was weird.
the roller coasters are gone. Those aren't inherently evil. Roller coasters can be good. Why did that place get so much less cool?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fair point.
Because they have no imagination, Peach or Rosalina.
I guess.
I don't know. But it's just, I think their power was more creating things. And so basically, it took what, my guess is it took what was that malice and hate and metal and not natural and turned it into natural
We have
stuff.
wooden roller coasters.
Shh. Shh, don't think so hard.
Yeah,
Well,
it was made from literal plant skeletons.
so now that Mike is disappointed at the downfall of the Bowser theme park, I'm gonna disappoint Brian. Um, Brian all night before we went to Yard House before, and he was trying to beat my best
Oh
Bowser
no.
time.
Ah,
And he
yes.
did. He did. He beat me by a few milliseconds, and I gave him the eShop gift card as agreed.
I mean,
And
you did tell me beforehand that I do, what do I need to do
It's
this
not
right
coming through.
now or like right before the movie? But yeah, there we go. I did it on the drive home at least, and you told me that anytime that evening I could beat you, or
so
I'd try to.
I tied you, Brian. We have
Oh,
we have the exact same time now, down to the millisecond.
does that mean I have to give back the prize?
Yes, I want
Are
that
we,
eShop
are we
gift card
sharing?
back.
Okay.
He already
Apparently,
spent it.
apparently it is possible to beat this time, but it's like only two people have ever been recorded as doing it.
I mean, it's like you mentioned, like, because I at some point, on Lisa's advice, because I was having trouble with a certain stuff, she's like, "Well, just watch what Jeremy did." And that was the first time I actually sat and watched your playthrough, and I realized, oh, you didn't slow down at all. You were running P speed, so to speak, and you don't like you never strike anything. You never pause for anything. So I literally thought for a second, like you. I can't beat your speed. I think you're going maximum. But then you reminded me that I guess if you keep your jumps low, you're technically going a little bit faster.
Okay, so for context, because I didn't properly introduce this to the listeners, and some people probably confused, I had
Sure.
Nintendo World Championships on my Switch,
Hmm.
and I was challenging Brian to beat my fastest Bowser time. It's the Bowser level. You can beat it
Yeah.
in 15 seconds if you know exactly what to do. And so Brian was trying over and over to beat my time, and I got a kick out of the best scene in this movie being the Bowser bridge fight. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Brian's been failing at this all day long, and here it is right in front of him. But yeah, that was funny.
But I guess the only way to beat, I guess now our time
Our time.
is just to like keep lower. You're
We'll work
saying.
on it. We'll work on
Ah,
it.
damn. I mean that's some speed run shit. Like it's like that's so close. But
Did
like,
we have any reaction to the post-credits scene? Daisy's big debut. Daisy shows up. And by the way, Lisa, that was not Ukiki from Zelda. That was Kiki from Super Mario World 2.
You got the names backwards, but yes.
Okay.
I was about to say I thought there was a Ukiki, but
No, it was they look super similar
They
though.
look super similar and their names are super similar. Because I looked it up afterwards because I was like, is that the monkey that was in Link to the Past? Like,
Right.
that's crazy. I didn't realize he was like a Mario thing. And
I
then
mean,
I
this
looked
had
it
the
up and it was like, no, you're wrong.
this had the chain chomps from Link's Awakening.
Ah, there you go, Mike. I see what you did there. It's funny though, even that little monkey is played by a comedian. It's Roxana Ortega. She was like on New Girl.
they're just really
So
casting anybody to be like,
yeah.
oh, what do you want to do as a voice? Just can you want to bark like a dog? Like,
But so Minecraft, spoilers from Minecraft, Sonic 3, and this movie. But Minecraft ends introducing the female counterpart, Alex. Sonic 3 ends introducing the female counterpart, Amy Rose. And now
Galaxy ends introducing
Galaxy ends
Daisy.
introducing, I mean, I guess it's not the female
The
counterpart
third
because
female counterpart?
Well,
it's just,
interesting that Daisy is being introduced. Yeah, at this point, given that like, because didn't she first appear in Super Mario Land, like for Game Boy or something? Like she
something like
predates
that.
Rosalina by a lot, I think.
Oh, yeah, she does, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, because
But that
Rosalina is
doesn't
like,
matter. Well,
I guess. I mean,
well,
honestly, you're right because it's pulling from all the franchise at the same time, kind of. So
yeah.
She's a fan favorite though. She's like, there's whole memes about her being super chaotic and like super, you know,
Daisy,
yes,
I
yes.
see.
The internet culture around her is very beloved and very just random chaos, brain rot. Like, I'm kind of here for it,
I mean,
and I
it
really hope
starts
they do.
off with chaos from just being named Daisy. I think it's utterly insane that Daisy is short for Margaret.
That is nuts.
Daisy is short for
That's
Margaret.
true.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy enough that Margaret can be shortened to Peggy? That they can be Daisy too?
Okay,
You have to go through like
What?
you have to go through like French flower names.
I mean, how many names do Margarets get? Like, jeez.
Mike,
All of them.
you cannot cut out the pause of us waiting for your point. We're like, how is Daisy
Like,
crazy?
I mean,
And
I'm
you
not
know
gonna.
what? You win. Okay, guys. Any other final thoughts before we go on to our verdicts?
Well, it would be nice to get a very different characterization of Daisy that leans into kind of what you were saying, Jeremy, because like, because in part maybe because this was kind of Peach's story and Rosalina was sort of the damsel in distress in a lot of ways for the bulk of it. We're not shown a great deal to show how different they are, but if Daisy is like significantly a different character, that'd be really fun to see that dynamic.
Yeah.
Presuming that that's meant to be a singer for the next movie.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like I spent most of this movie just going. Obviously, they're related. I just don't know if this is a mother-daughter or sister's relationship. Like it's
Yeah.
obviously that.
Right.
I didn't see it coming, but also I think
Wow,
it's so
two
weird. It's
blonde
like,
women, they all look the same and are related? Wow. Wow.
They ended up being sisters.
They also
So
have the same first name.
yeah, princess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike's on fire. All right, you
I mean,
guys. So
I could see that being something canon too. Isn't this also like? I mean, I don't know. It might just be canon to the first live action movie, but the whole like Mario, Luigi Mario thing, or didn't that become canon?
jokingly, at an interview, he was asked what their full name is, and he goes,
Okay,
Mario, because
it would be the thing that best make the Mario brothers make sense.
yeah.
Mike and Tom aren't the Mike brothers. You
But I
know?
like that it's like a
It could
game with
be.
like mushrooms that make you grow and you throw fireballs, and that's not how names work. It's like you can't suspend your disbelief.
Sure it is. Realism is a little bit thrown out the window. I get you.
Well, and just got to be said, for my boy Kyle, that should have been Wario and Waluigi. Like I think Lisa, we got a little crunchy with this series. Okay, they're playing it too safe. I want some fart jokes next movie. Like, come on, Wario. Whoa, WarioWare TV show, but it's like Tim and Eric, like random. I think you should leave skits. Nope. Okay, there's something there. There's something there. Well, guys, we're going to wrap that up for today. We've covered the pros and Joy cons and every bit in between. So it's time to declare the Super Mario Galaxy movie a Nintendo or a NintenDON'T. I would like to start with Lisa.
Well, clearly, I think it's a Nintendo. I guess if you didn't like the first one, you should like this one, I guess. I don't know. That's how I've worked. I didn't like the
Okay.
first, like the second.
I I have like a family group text where we like rate movies, and our rules that if you regret watching it, it has to be below a 5. And I was kind of a 4 this morning. I was really disappointed by this movie. I just really wanted something to latch onto narratively, emotionally, thematically, and there's just nothing there. And every time I thought it was going to do something different or interesting, it pivoted. It's like, no, don't make there any romantic tension. Don't make Bowser and Bowser Jr. have an interesting dynamic. Don't make Rosalina and Peach have an interesting tension. It's just like everyone gets along except for the ones they don't, and it just felt overly simple. But in discussing it with you guys, I think I'm a reluctant Nintendo. I think there was enough fun things to talk about. And like I was lighting up talking about the things that made me laugh and the cool moments. So I think I maybe didn't like this movie because I was trying to sit there and watch it quietly. I think this might be a streaming Nintendo.
Sure.
But is that still an Nintendo? I don't know if this is
Yeah.
worth going to theaters, but I think it would be totally you could do worse with an afternoon if you're going to stream it especially with some friends.
I've seen worse in theaters.
Sure. Sure. So, Mike, is that a Nintendo because I'm saying you should stream it just but don't see it in theaters, or is that a Nintendo don't see it in theaters? I don't know how this works with screen
I feel like
time.
that. I feel like it's a Nintendo for a
It's a
movie.
Nintendo.
Okay. Okay. Well, don't break your back to go see it.
You can put the caveat there of, wait till it comes to streaming.
Sure.
That's fair.
Yeah. Or I really suspect this might be a fun 4DX. I think that might have been the missing piece that, there was a lot of scenes where like I mean, I'm almost tempted to try it.
Well, in that case, that gives me a little bit more confidence in because in saying, I guess I'm going to be the sole Nintendo on this
I was
one.
almost there. I came in on that, Brian.
I was expecting you to be a Nintendo on this, and like you said, you like by the Strauss family rating system, you would have given this a 4. I would give this a 5, but that
Okay.
puts me entirely on the fence of like when you say like Nintendo or Nintendo, like if it's gotta be a. Look. I mean, there's things appreciated
it.
about it, but like I don't know. I can't
It's
overlook the
okay.
fact that I think this movie is a lot of style and hardly much substance.
Yeah.
There was potential there, but yeah, let me be the sole dissenter in that case. I think this is a slight Nintendo in that like it's almost there.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing
even
though.
feel comfortable doing the complete positive or negative like
I
flip of the
know.
coin thing on this
It's the
because like
premise
I
of the
said, I
show.
feel I feel most comfortable with a 5 out of 10 on this one. But
That's an
but
F.
So Nintendo maybe?
yeah, you're right. I guess that is an F. Technically, it's an F plus.
Here's the wild thing though. I think Mike's gonna actually surprise you. Mike, what are
Yeah,
you?
because I
I
think
think I know his answer.
the first movie I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Which
Wow.
is what I consider to be like it didn't have anything that really stood out to me,
But
but
that's a
it
6
was
out of 10
good
then.
enough. Yeah.
All
This
right.
one I gave 2.5 out of 5. That it's got
Oh.
some bits that I like, but it feels like it has too many gaps. So I'm at that same
You're at the same 5 out of 10 then.
where I'm like, it's hard for me to say like, yeah, you should check it out. Like it's not at the point of me being able to say, yeah, you should check it out, but it's hard to be like, avoid it.
Well, here's the fun thing. If you're a NintenDON'T, we get to throw it to the Discord, and I feel like a lot of people are going to see this movie. So, Mike, will you
All
strike
right,
it
yeah,
down?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go
That'll be good.
Nintendo.
All
All
right,
right.
guys. Well, that means it's a
Or
tie. We're gonna call that game over for today. Our final verdict, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, is up to you. So be sure to go to www.theoldswitcharoo.com to get the link to our Discord and chime in on the discussion, and vote and be heard. Bryan, Lisa, thank you so much, both of you, for always supporting the show and sharing your candy at the theater Friday night. Before you get on out of here, Bryan, why don't you remind us where we can find all of your cosplay and your activism and all that cool stuff?
Oh, well, I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Brian with a Y dot S dot Lee, and I'm on YouTube at Brian Lee. I was able to claim that. No middle initials, no periods or anything.
Stuck
So
your flag in that one.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, and a show with Bryan, and it currently has an active Facebook. Could you mind telling us about that real quick?
Yeah, you should check out Geek Pop. We are Geek Poppin' on Facebook because that's what we could grab. We're still hiatus. We're not over, but we're not really producing much content. But the Facebook page still goes.
Yeah,
For
never
your
say
pop
never.
culture. Yep. No, yeah. It's we cover pop anything and everything in pop culture. So check it out. We want to be popping your geek.
Yeah. You know what? Fingers crossed for a reboot. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
thing.
Hey, it's just time and we're all a little discombobulated right now where we used to film it all together in the same studio. So it's like we know we can do it digital, but we liked
Yeah.
doing it together. So
But the
it's finding
Facebook,
that place. But the
the
Facebook is still running, it's still up and going, and Chris maintains that and he's always posting cool stuff. Like
yeah,
half the stuff I see on there, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
it's a good scroll. Oh, that sounds excellent. Everyone join us next time when we'll be busting aliens in the Sega Genesis arcade classic Alien Storm. Also remember to like, follow, subscribe to the Old Switch Aru, and rate or review the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also visit www.theoldswitcharoo.com to find all our social media links, and we'd love to hear what you thought about this episode or what you're hoping to hear in future episodes. As always, thanks for listening to the Old Switch Aru. We'll be talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I've been Mike.
And I'm Jaymo. Game on, everyone. One more Wahoo, Lisa.
Woohoo!